Well, good afternoon if you're in the beautiful USA, and if you are in Europe, it's already the evening and it's Fabulous Friday. If you're overseas, it's Super Saturday morning, and I am Bruce, aka the guy in the blue shirt, and my method is called Simpler, Faster, Better. And I actually help people clean up their processes. Or a recent connection said to me, "Hey, Bruce, you're a process fixer." And yes, I am a process fixer. And here's Nicole, all the way from Ventnor, right? Ventnor on the East Coast.
Ventnor in New Jersey, yes.
No, sorry, I forgot the New Jersey, because I
No,
know
that's
you're very
okay.
proud to be a NJ lady.
It's great to be here. Great to be here.
Yeah, and we were chatting offline. I always love to give context to how people become my guests, in particular how we met. And we were chatting about our fondness and passion for a joint connection, Russ Hedge, who had
Yeah.
interviewed you, and I was in the comments, and I was comment bombing along with Dr. Noopy, who glitter bombs in the comments. Oh, and
Yes.
by the way, I forgot to tell you, I did meet Dr. Noopy in person last year as well. So
Get out. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, we had tea on her patio, and they let me stay with her hubby and her twin kids. So it was amazing. Yeah.
How was the tea? I'm a tea girl as well.
Why, I have my own brand of tea,
I
blended tea.
saw that. I've researched you, Bruce. I'm all about it.
So I took my tea. All right. Well, when we meet, then I will make sure I bring some tea. And yeah, it's loose leaf and it's high quality and it's got a lot of endorphins in it. So it really does make you feel good for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. So the context how we met. And again, I always like to share that with people because I see a lot of people doing frustrating things on LinkedIn. And, I always say to people it's about the four C's, and you actually watched the episode with Fahima that you told me, yeah,
Yeah.
getting to collaborate is a step by step process, right? And so I always remind people it starts with the conversation, and the conversation can be any which way you want. If you just want to do it in comments, great. Do it in live stream, great. Do it with your own posts, that's great. It doesn't matter how you start the conversation, but you gotta then lead to the connection, right? From that connection, you can then start to build, a community. And the whole point about that is it takes time, and not everybody is going to be in your community.
Right.
And then from that community, those are the people that you want to find like-minded and common ground with to seek to collaborate.
Yeah.
And I mention all that because I see people on LinkedIn want to go from the conversation straight to collaboration. They want to skip all the steps, or they want to sell the bejeebers out of you.
Far too often.
Yes, I know. And actually, Lisa Riggs, I don't know if you know her, she did a great video the other day saying we should all ask LinkedIn to have a little circle that we can add to our profile that says, "Do not sell to me."
Yeah. I would be the first to register.
Okay. All right. Well, Lisa Riggs, if you don't know Lisa, I'll happily introduce you afterwards to her.
Hit
So,
hit me up, Lisa.
oh, yeah, hit you up, Lisa. Well, she's asked if everyone will lobby LinkedIn for that, do not sell to me banner. So it would be cool. All right. Well, I've talked enough. Over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're a very passionate, purpose driven lady. So over to you.
Well, in case you have not, or we have not connected, my name is Nicole. As Russ said, I am from Southern New Jersey. I am a mindset coach and I work with entrepreneurs and professionals at all different levels. And I help them overcome all of the mindset blocks, limiting beliefs, limiting identities, all the things, all the ways that they're holding themselves back from
Hmm.
reaching their next level of success, whatever that level of success looks like to them. Um, and I do that with a pretty signature approach
Hmm.
of blending subconscious work with leaning strongly into faith.
Hmm.
So the two together, in my experience, produce amazing results. And it just brings me so much joy every single day. I feel blessed to be able to do what I do.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned a couple of B words. My people that get to know me, my nickname is BB for Bruce. And so you mentioned blessed and also, you know, blending, and whatever you do, it's all about that branding, right? And
Absolutely.
whether we like it or not, we either get assigned a brand by other people, how they see us, or we can choose to make our own brand and portray how we want to be seen, right?
I think that is so important. And I don't hear that mentioned often enough, right? If you're afraid to stick your neck out and put your stake in the ground and say, this is what I stand for, like, it's like you stand for nothing, right?
Or somebody else will give you the label that you don't really want anyway, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
They'll put the wrong price tag on you, or yeah. So I always like to have fun with words, if you haven't already noticed. So cool. And just shout out if you are in the comments. I just got a note saying I'm not necessarily seeing any comments. If you're watching, the only way that Nicole and I will know the technology's not that smart is you have to say hi.
Yes.
And it's very simple. You never know what will come of it. Like, this live stream and you agreeing to be my guest would never ever have happened unless I made a comment in the live stream that you were guesting on before. So you
Yeah.
never know where it will lead you, right?
I am always amazed, and I feel like on LinkedIn more than any other platform, at the connections and the relationships that spur from just connecting in the comments on a
Mhm.
live stream. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, and actually, it's interesting because what allowed me to title, I like to kind of have a loose theme for our live streams with all my guests, is that you had talked about you've been training, seeking the timing for everything that you've been doing in your life, and you made a great comment about the time is now, and we have that in common, and I'll come back to that. So talk to us a little bit more about that. And hello, LinkedIn user. He or she is saying hi. So just LinkedIn user, just so you know, in your visibility settings, you need to allow for visibility on live streams, or you can just drop your name in here. So thank you. At least we got a hi.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome. So happy
Well,
that you're here joining us today. Can you repeat that question, Russ? I mean, Bruce,
so
I'm sorry.
yeah, no. So I was saying that what allowed me to title the theme was I saw a post about you really reflecting on the fact that you've been training all your life for where
Oh,
you are now, and the timing is just absolutely now. And we were talking offline. The now timing is exactly why I decided to venture into the metaverse, and we'll come back to that. So yeah, tell us a little bit about you know, why is that so important for people to understand?
that's a great question. So I personally um am always trying to reflect and,
Mm,
and be aware of like where I am right now. And a great friend of mine, always throws out that quote, and I'm like, gosh, it hits me every time. You can only connect the dots looking backwards, right? So sometimes as you're going through things, you
mm-hmm,
don't realize how you're being prepared every step of the way
mm-hmm,
for this thing that's going to end up being either your sole purpose or one of your many purposes here. So, becoming a mindset coach, it's
mm-hmm,
like, yeah, I've really been training for this my whole life, unbeknownst to me, because of all of the personal struggles and things that I've had to go through and overcome, and the people I've helped along the way. And it's like, it's crazy how when you finally get to that point in your life where, like, oh my gosh, look, all these experiences have been driving me to
mm-hmm,
this one thing that I'm now doing. Um, it's amazing. And to me, it's just further confirmation again of like how God works, and how we all really are here for a reason and a purpose. And that will be revealed to you at some point in your journey. And if you are staying present and aware and stopping in our crazy busy lives to look around and be like, wait a minute, let me take notice of what's going on here, and these nudgings that I'm feeling to expand and stretch and maybe pivot in my career or go into a different direction. Um, there are those magical moments in your life that I feel
mm-hmm.
like you just gotta like snatch up whenever you can.
Yeah. Well, you made me go goosebumpy. Thank you.
Yes, God is great. I see you, Mario, and hello, Yolanda.
Yes, yes, two very loyal fans. Yolanda, I've met in person. Not met Mario yet. Yolanda's in the Dallas Fort Worth, and in fact, I met Yolanda for the second time because I go to Dallas regularly.
Wow.
But I want to come back to some really interesting concepts you talked about joining the dots. So it's interesting that yes, if you are observing one of my little methods, I try and discipline myself to take what I call a digital walk break. And I usually do that at the end of the afternoon. And I take my phone, but I take my phone for the main reason of capturing how the flowers grow so fast here. We've had
Yeah.
a really wet, great winter here in the desert in Tempe, Arizona, but the plants are like on fire. I mean, they're like so vibrant and they're so prolific. So I go around taking pictures, sometimes of the same bush or the same flower, because even day after day, you can see how they grow. And it's interesting that, that's part of joining the dots. But I'm going to challenge you a little bit on something, if I may. Are you okay first?
Absolutely.
So, part of a special way to think about joining the dots is you can actually think about strategy to join the dots on how you want your future to look like.
Yeah.
So it's not, or reflection is absolutely key to know where you are. And so if you can exercise your mind in that freedom, particularly in nature with observation, you can actually join the dots for the future. And you Dore looked at my VR store. That's the whole point about my store. The store is there to build a community of limitless possibilities in what I call a universal expansion. Now that doesn't mean that I want 100 people working for me. I still want to be a solopreneur. My business is a lifestyle business, but I want to be able to expand laterally and do it from where I want to do it from and not have to go to a place of work. So, what are your thoughts on that? Joining the dots futuristically.
I 1,000,000% believe in it. And I
Oh,
do it all the time with my clients. So,
hmm,
connecting the dots from the past, that was more in reference to, when you're like, I've been training, my post where I said, I've been training for this my whole life.
right,
But connecting the dots in the future it's so imperative because if you can't see where you want to go, you're never going to be able to get there. Your mind's never going to figure out how to get there. So, a lot of times when I work with clients and they're coming up against resistance, it's because they just can't even see it yet. They don't even know what that kind of success would look like.
right.
So, anytime you haven't even allowed yourself to go there in your mind and visualize or feel what that experience would feel like, what happens when you're not familiar with something? It comes up as a feeling of fear. And when you have fear, what do you want to do? You want to avoid something.
Hmm.
So people end up with this thing called approach avoidance because as they're trying to move towards this thing that they think they want, deep inside in their subconscious, they have a fear about actually getting that thing because they've never even really given themselves the opportunity to explore what that would look like. So creating a vision,
Hmm.
connecting to that vision emotionally and energetically is something that I do with my clients all the time. They can't get to where they want to go without doing that step.
Yeah, you raise some amazing. So I'm a visual learner. I shared with you I have a special eye condition, so that I have to see things visually, not in detail, but big picture. So I have a vision board, and I'm pretty confident you do without asking
Yep.
you. But what is really interesting about that dot joining is also be very selective and very strategic about, which dots are the ones that you want to join together, because it's usually people that represent the dots, right? Because it all starts with people.
Hmm.
And it's also interesting that, you covered so eloquently the power of using a third party mentor, coach. Doesn't matter what you call them, but you want somebody to really ask you a couple of questions. And my $1 million question when I'm stuck with somebody is, what's holding you back, right? because when you ask that question and get them to really, really think about it, or the other flip side of that is, do you realize that in this setting or industry ABC, the way they solve that problem is doing this, this, and this? And again, that's the advantage of having a coach, mentor, guide. They have that otherworldly experience that the person may not have. So they don't know what is possible. But if you can enlighten them and show them some example of what's possible, they turn into what I call bright eyes. They
Yeah.
get really bright eyed and their energy zooms, and so
I couldn't agree more. And that's why I think it's always so important to choose a coach who has either walked the journey that you are looking to take
yeah.
or achieve some sort of success or overcome some kind of obstacle that
Hmm.
you are currently going through. And it's so important because a coach is like that mirror
Hmm.
for yourself to reflect back to you. And that's the beautiful thing about coaching. We're not doing anything to you. We're helping you come to the realizations that are already within you, but it's so hard for some reason to get to that without having somebody reflect it back to you.
Yeah. And I love your thinking around being purposeful. When I knew I needed to make a change back in 2019, I purposely looked for a coach that was at least a generation younger than me. And
Mhm.
I don't mean to be age prejudicial, but I just knew that the energy I was lacking was in that, one or two generations below me, because they see things differently.
Yeah.
And I wanted a guy that was, would beat me up mildly.
I get it. I read an amazing article once and they said everybody should have a mentor that's at least 10 years older than you and 10 years younger than you.
Yeah. Well, actually, I would. So I stretch the imagination a little bit. I'm back to Path to the Pits, which I told you about last weekend in Long Beach with the 𝐋𝐢𝐟𝐞 organization. Those students for Path to the Pits are aged between 18 and 28, so they're in that cool Gen Z arena. And
Yeah.
you know what? Working with those people last weekend, it's like, oh my, I wish I was that smart when I was their age.
Well, we share that love of racing and
We
oh my
do.
goodness, if this program was around when, I was a teenager, oh my gosh, I would have been all about it. I would have eaten
Yeah.
it up.
Oh, and it's amazing because that their goal is also to offer studentship, so they can see behind the scenes in IndyCar, other than being a driver, all the other careers. But more importantly, they're going to focus on people that don't have as much means or might be underprivileged or you know blocked in some way. So they're
Yeah.
really looking for a very specific but very advantageous group that will really benefit from it. And in fact, they ran a beta test last year, and I met the student, and she's from Paraguay. She's actually coming back to be at their next event as a past beta test student, and she is super sharp.
Wow.
She is 25, speaks multiple languages, and
And you
yeah,
have to. So many of those teams are like international
yeah.
team members.
Well, you know that from your love of F1, so.
Yeah. Thank you, Yolanda and Mario. I see all these amazing comments popping up. They're in full agreement with us, Bruce. So
Imagine
with our
that. And we
conversation.
didn't practice, right? So that's the other
No.
thing. People will say to me, like, you have to have a script, and no,
Mm-mm. I like it better when it just flows.
absolutely. Go with the flow, right?
Yes.
So, all right, for sure. So talking about flowing, what are some goodies in your river that's coming up in the next several months or later this year? Whichever you want to pick. You can talk about anything.
Well, what I always like to be is open to all opportunities. I
Hmm.
don't like to put myself in a box. I don't like to put limits on myself. Um, you know, uh, I, so I am always open to like, what would be this? If somebody brings an opportunity across my path, I'm like, let's listen to it. Let's hear about it. So personally, for myself, I have my coaching business. LevelUp Life Co is the name of my company. And much like you, I have big dreams for this being a laterally expansive lifestyle brand across so many different areas. Part of my brand is a membership for women entrepreneurs and professionals called the Foundations of Fulfillment,
Mm-hmm.
where we focus on leveling up in the areas of mindset, fitness, faith, and business. Because I really believe, life doesn't happen in these little compartmentalized silos. Everything affects everything. So you could be
Mm-hmm.
having massive business success, but you're not taking care of yourself physically. So you feel just not great anyway, or you're not grounded to something higher than yourself. So just everything feels unfulfilling. So that's going amazing. I have a 90-day fitness challenge going on in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a personal trainer. That was just something I did way back when. And I'm in an amazing group with 3 other solopreneurs, and we met a couple years ago in a mastermind called Fast
Uh-huh.
Foundations, and we've stayed in touch. We've had this little pod where we connect every single month, and we actually are putting together a conference that's going to be happening, a leadership conference that's going to be happening in September. So
Okay.
you'll start seeing some buzz around that on LinkedIn as well.
Sure.
They are all accomplished authors and leadership mentors in different spaces. So I'm excited for that.
Is that going to be in person or virtual?
It's going to be virtual.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So if you're open-minded, I don't usually do this, so if I embarrass you, forgive me.
No.
But if the 4 of you would like to co-collaborate through my VR store, which has all the community building tools already behind the scenes, and I will be more than happy to chat to you about that.
Heck yeah. We're, like I said, we're open to getting the word out there. We're literally working on our website right now. We have our branding down and everything like that. So we're moving and grooving. So
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it would be a great fit because, part of my ambition with being in the Omniverse City, I'm the first solopreneur to have a live working real life store. So that's good. There are some big brands that have them, but little old me, single solopreneur. I'm proud to be the first, and I did it for a number of reasons. If I could share, do you mind?
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. No,
So
I think it's so amazing. And I have no experience in the metaverse yet. So I'm all ears.
okay. So nor did I, and nor did I really want to be. But I had this big push to, my presence was all over the place. So I really do believe in the core of my method, which is making things simpler, faster, better. Well, to look at everything I was doing, it was longer, discombobulated, and complicated. It's like, Bruce, how can you, how can you try and be, a guide, coach, mentor for other people if you're not the product of your own process, right?
Mm.
So that got me really thinking. Anyway, fast forward, the store allows me to have what I call a one place communication strategy. So everything that I had on my link tree is now repurposed in my store. It allows me to use technology behind the scene to run super dynamic group type sessions, workshops, whatever I want to do. There are monetization strategies already built into the technology.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to be the first baby boomer to show people that, hey, a baby boomer can get out of his own head and do what, possibly we might expect the Gen Zs to be doing. And so that's it. Tell my story that way.
I love it. And I think it's amazing. And you and I were speaking before we went live. Age is just a number, and just like any other kind of limiting belief,
Right.
it's
Yeah. And then to top that off, do you know Devin James?
I
Have you
have
met?
heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So to tap that off, Devin James and I just did a 35-second rap version of Connect and Shop and Play. So it.
Oh, wait, Mario is asking, was it difficult?
Great question, Mario. So thanks for that. It was not difficult. However, the fact that I'm used to running high performing cross functional teams myself, the hardest thing was to get out of the way and just keep repeating the strategy. And what I meant by that is, I fell into the trap of trying to micromanage the outcome instead of just reminding Charlene Nichols, who owns the Omniverse City, and all of her software engineers that this is the strategy, and you got, let them loose, let them have freedom to come up with meeting the strategic outcomes and not micromanaging the detail. So that was hard for me personally, but it's allowed me to see things very differently. So they did me a great service by, unwiring my micromanagement approach. So
And do we have to create our avatar to visit your store?
it's much easier. So
Okay.
yes. However, so the advantage is Charlene's very sharp, and her software engineers, they picked the Ready Player Me avatar software because Ready Player Me is pretty popular. So
Okay.
once you've created your avatar, so mine's over here. This is me.
I see you. I
Took me
see
two
you.
goes. He does move around, so everything that you're having, you can have more than one. But the Ready Player Me, once it's created, it's yours, and you can move it to any other platform.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
not restricted just to the Omniverse City. So anyone else that uses Ready Player Me, I can take my avatar and or avatars. So this is my fun. The guy in the blue shirt. I will have a me in one of my IndyCar shirts. Oh, sidebar! I
Mm.
got two really cool new IndyCar shirts. Alexander Rossi's my driver. He just moved to Arrow McLaren, so I got to wear and take home two unique Alexander Rossi shirts. So yay!
Oh, he said a tutorial would be awesome, Bruce.
Okay, Mario. So interesting enough, next Friday, some of us are going to be meeting with Charlene, and that's actually going to be a topic of conversation: is how do we create a simple workshop for people to really understand, the places they could go. There
Yeah.
is truly limitless possibilities with what you can do using the technology in the Omniverse City. Yeah, for sure.
It's really cool.
It is cool. Yeah. And hey, even if you don't like what it does, you can have fun with the avatars.
Who
you know,
knows where we're going to be in 20 years? Oh, my goodness.
well, so I'm glad you said that. So you know some people already challenged me and said, "Well, why would you want to do that, Bruce?" And it's like, well, I was facing having to upgrade my flat website stuff and all that, and so I wanted to invest in a technology that would last for the next 2 to 5 years and not have to keep doing it over, because I absolutely dislike rework like
Right.
crazy. So all the technology in this platform is it's going to last 2 to 5 years without doubt, and that's really key, because the time is now. If you don't learn and or adapt and or do a little of each, traditional websites as we know them today, they're gone. They're gone in 2 to 5 years.
Wow.
Absolutely gone.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is a thing.
Mm.
And if you don't venture in early, it's like anything else. Early is
Is
eventually,
on time, right? And
and then
on
on
time is
time.
late.
Right. Yeah. So I've told people, this is a big, fast moving train. It moving at lightning speed, particularly when you integrate AI, which I have in one part of my store as well. When you got the metaverse and AI working in combination, not only is the train moving fast, but there won't be certain trains that stop at the regular stations anymore. You won't even be able to get on the train.
I believe it. I
Yeah.
can't get on the chat GPT ever. I haven't even been able to try it. Like every time I go on, it says rep max capacity.
I love it. Well, you don't have to do all the bells and whistles.
Right.
Again, it's back to what I believe in is a simpler, faster, better lifestyle, and that truly, and it's everything. It's everything from grocery store shopping to
Mhm.
the amount of stuff I keep. I mean, when I moved less than 2 years ago to Tempe, Arizona, I got rid of 60% of my material stuff.
Yeah,
It just wasn't. It was just getting in my way. It wasn't doing anything for me. Other than I used to have to keep cleaning it or maintaining it.
I get
So
it. Even the women in my workout challenge, like that are in my membership, I put all their programs into an app
right.
because that way it's like having me training them in their pocket. They don't have to try to remember what I said or look at a piece of paper or anything. So
Oh, I love that. Nicole in your purse or Nicole in your
yeah.
back pocket. Oh,
You're
what
giving
a
me an idea.
great daily motivation that would be.
Yeah, you're giving me some ideas, Bruce.
Hey, I'm all about I have some stupid ideas, I have some really good ideas, and I have some flim flam ideas as well that usually take a while. They percolate for a while usually. So
Yeah, but I
well,
love that. I love giving us ourselves the room to play and expand and come up with ideas and
right.
that,
Yeah. So that's why I broke everything. When I looked at everything I was doing, it broke into three categories. You either want to connect with me to build a community, you either want to shop with me, to be blunt, buy stuff, which is great, but I
Mhm.
only want community members to do that when they're comfortable. And then there's this playful part of me, through my IndyCar and all the other playful things I do. I wanted people to come and collaborate with me in a play space. And just so you know visually how you're going to do that, if you imagine this is the room, there's a playroom like this. Well, people that want to collaborate with me, and if it's your group, they'll be able to take either an elevator or click on a poster, and you'll go to the second level of my playroom. So you'll actually get people to enter into your own community room, not my room. So
That's amazing.
yeah, and as you can see, the graphics are pretty cool. And I
They
didn't have
are.
I didn't have to do anything other than say, guys, it's got to be simpler, faster, better.
I love it. What
Anyway,
a
all right.
world. What a world.
What a world we're becoming, for sure. All right. So, how do you like people to get a hold of you, Nicole?
So I love LinkedIn, but truth be told, I spend most of my time on Instagram because I just love Instagram
Okay.
stories and things like
Cool.
that. So people can reach me on Instagram at LevelUp Life Co. That's just where I am showing up daily. You can
Okay.
reach me here at Nicole Frazier on LinkedIn, and never be shy to just reach out and send me a message to connect. And yeah, I work with clients one on one.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like I said, if you're a woman looking for a group of faith-filled, purpose-driven entrepreneurs, d- come in and ask about my membership. I'd love to chat about it with you.
Yeah. Awesome. And I can reinforce what Nicole said. She's very responsive. She's always very pleasant. I know she's busy, but be sure to drop your Instagram handle in the comments after when it goes
Yes.
#replay, and you'll get that as soon as we're finished up. So, any last thoughts? Passing moments?
No, this was a pleasure. I had so much fun with Mario and Yolanda chiming in here as well. Thank you guys for both being here. And yeah, maybe we'll even see you guys at the leadership conference in September.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it might actually be through my playroom.
Absolutely. We shall see, right? I love
wouldn't that
it.
wouldn't that be a full circle moment, right?
That really would. That
It
would.
would. All right. So just hang for a minute. I let you know I need to run my brand story. So let me just find that. Ah, I'm out of touch. I've not done this for 2 weeks, and now I don't know where stuff is. All right, here we go. Don't run away.
You're frustrated that you have no time and you just hate it. You lost your mind. You're running around the kids and the spouse, and the business that was once your passion has got you burnt out. So, consult with Bruce, the guy in the blue shirt. It'll help you find the truth so that you can do you first. See, it's all about simpler, faster, better. So you can save massive amounts of time and money instead of longing for the day where you can finally kick your feet up. Do yourself a favor. Call up Bruce. He'll tell you about process cleanup.
That's awesome.
You like that?
Yeah, that's really, really nice. I love it.
Did you see yourself at the end doing that?
Yeah, like, ah.
How many of your ladies are come to you like, oh,
Oh my goodness, all of them, right?
yeah, I know. Yeah, Devin is very creative. He was so easy to work with. I gave him a lot of existing flat material and what I call flat material, just pictures and whatever. And
Wait, are we still live?
yeah, we are.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
I
I
love
didn't hang you out to dry yet. You're
it.
okay. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for being in the comments. Thanks for my loyal followers. Awesome. And thank you, Nicole. I know you're a very busy lady and you made this happen all the way from New Jersey. So thank you.
It was a pleasure. And yes, this is just the beginning of our friendship here, Bruce. And looking forward to stay connected.
Yep, absolutely. Connected. Connect and shop and play. Devin and I have a little rap thing that we did. Even an old guy did a little bit of rap,
I love it.
All right. Stay there for a minute. Bye, everybody. Thanks.